Hey everybody, it's Steve. Recently I got this Betopper 19 by 40 watt 4-in-1 mover. And I've been noticing how more and more lights are coming under the category of BI. And bees have eyes that look like this. And BI moving heads have a series of similar looking hexagonal lenses that sit above their LED elements. But unlike a standard par fixture, these lenses can move their distance and relative position to create some really amazing effects. In this video, I want to first unbox this guy and then quickly show its features and functions, go through its DMX channels, and finally show two of them with the hazer going, so you can see how mind-blowing these super bright BIs can look. Okay, let's take a look at what's in this box, and this is a rather large box. So we got the instruction manual, DMX cable, here's the PowerCon cable, we have a couple of quick lock brackets, and there's the light. I have a lot of smaller Betopper lights, but this one is quite large at 19 inches tall and just under 15 inches wide and 11 inches deep. And it weighs in at a heavy 37 pounds. On the base, it has all the basic features you'd expect with DMX in and out jacks, PowerCon in and out jacks, fuse and on-off switch. And it also has pan and tilt locks. And on the front, there's status indicators, a nice color LED display, and menu controls. And underneath, you can attach these quick release mounts for quicker setups. On the back of the head, there's two temperature controlled fans. And on the front of the head, there are these 19 40 watt RGBW LEDs that can be color mixed and pixel mapped. And these movable honeycomb lenses are what create the wash and beam effects. And combined with different rotation settings, it really adds up to some amazing effects. Now, I'm not going to go through every menu function, but you can go in and set the DMX starting address. And you can go into three different run modes, DMX, and then there's a mode called host mode, which is a simple auto function where it goes through pan and tilt and different pixel effects. And then there's a sound mode where the pixel effects stay the same, but with each transient that the microphone hears, it advances through a different pan and tilt position. We'll put it back in DMX mode. You can invert the pan and tilt from this menu screen, and you can also go in and manually set every one of the functions. If I go in and go to pan, can manually set it like this. There's a lot of information that you can get from the menu screen, runtime, sensor, temperature, etc. And there's a couple factory settings you can go in and adjust. And there's also two different reset modes. Okay, let's go through the DMX channels. And this light has a 21, a 22, a 35, and a 36 channel mode. I've got it set in 35 channel mode, and I'm going to be controlling it with my DMX3 on my MacBook Air. And so first off, in order to see anything, you have to take the strobe control on channel 11, and you've got to turn that all the way up. And then when you bring up the dimmer a little bit, which is going to be on channel 12, I've got it up on a value of about 51, you're going to see we've got red on channel 1, green on channel 3, blue on 5, white on 7, all pretty standard. And this light also has fine color controls. So it's got fine red, fine green. Not sure if you can see these unless I turn the dimmer up, but if the dimmer's up, you can see the fine red. There it is. Fine green, fine blue, and fine white. Okay, I'm going to bring the dimmer back down. And then there's another mode that's called color temp, and that basically is just an independent feature where you've got kind of a wash in cool and warmer colors. Then on channel 10, there's something called macro color, and these are pre-mixed colors that you can access by sending different values. So let's leave that one on. And on channel 11, there's a lot of different strobing functions. There's different strobing effects with different transitions between the different on-offs. Then 12 is the dimmer, as we'd mentioned. There's a fine dimmer on channel 13. Channel 14, you can see here's the pan control. Channel 15, fine pan. Channel 16, tilt. Back up. Channel 17, fine tilt. And channel 19 is a reset function. And then channel 20, you can go between what is the widest beam angle to the narrowest beam angle. And then in the highest value, all of a sudden it pops into the individual BI lens effects. And in order to see those at different distances, you need to rotate the lens on channel 21, which has set different rotation positions. And then at the higher values, you can rotate the lens at different speeds and in different directions. We're going to take the macro color off. And now we'll go into the individual pixel controls. It's going to cover the basics of it. We need to bring up the shape dimmer up, and then we go into the shape selection. In the middle values, in the range of 48 to 68, there's different combinations of colors that are preset. Let's tilt the light up a little bit so we can see it better. On channel 23, you can cycle between the colors with the shape speed control. We can see better that on channel 24, you can fade between the different colors. Combined with the rotation effects, you really can get some amazingly great patterns projected. Now, if you want to have more specific control over these pixels, colors, and shapes, so if we put the shape selection between 15 and 20, now in order to see these effects, we need to go into the strobe for the foreground, put it on full, and we need to go in to the shape dimmer, keep that on full. And now you can see we can go in and we can pick individual colors of these shapes, and you can color mix these two. Red and blue, we'll get a nice magenta. And then when you go into the shape deviation on channel 32, you can pick different combinations of pixels. And you can also strobe those colors with this strobe background setting. Let's go back to the rotation so we can see this better. And there's just an example of one custom effect that you can set up. It's actually pretty complex, the way that they all interact with each other. The simplest way to do it is just to go into this shape selection tool and pick the preset color combinations like this and experiment. These lights are big and bright, and as of June 2024, You can get them for $599 US at the link below. Thanks very much for watching, and please subscribe.